So hello friends, I welcome you all this in the lecture series of fluid mechanics where we are discussing internal flow. So in the previous 4 lectures we have covered all the theory part where we have derived the equations for different cases. Like you can see on the screen that there is a first case was pipe flow where the flow through the pipe is there. Then the second case was the laminar flow between the fixed parallel plates, and third case is the flow between the uh, parallel plates where one plate is fixed and one plate is moving. So we have derived this kind of formulation for this internal flow. It is expected that you should prepare this in with respect to examination. You need to remember this formulation for the numerical treatment. So in that case there is a possibility of confusion between the formulations. So it is expected that you should prepare this sheet like this as I have shown on the screen. You can see, you can just pause it and copy that so that you can prepare them well. So based on this formulation we are going to see the numericals today. Today we'll see numericals on the flow through the pipe, and in the subsequent lectures we'll go for the parallel plates. Okay, so let us go for the first numerical. Where on the screen you can see the statement of that numerical. So it is very important to read the statement first. So I suggest you to pause the video and read the numerical first, because reading the numerical is very important. Unless and until you will not read numerical at your own, you will not get the subject. So let us read it now. I'll write down the given data while reading the same. Very important instruction while writing the given data is that always write the given data in the SI units. So whatever the units are given in the numerical, immediately convert them into the SI units once we write the given data. So the numerical number 1 we can read, a fluid viscosity is 0.7 Newton second per meter square. So this is SI unit, so need not to be converted. So I can write down mu equal to 0.7 Newton second per meter square. Then specific gravity is given, so that is S, which is 1.3. It directly indicates that density is 1300, because we know that specific gravity is what? Density of the given substance upon density of the standard substance, that is water, and we know that density of water is 1000. So if I multiply this 1000 with 1.3, I will get the density of the given substance. So what is the density of the given substance is now 1300. 1.3 multiplied by 1000. You can write down density of the given substance is 1300 kg per meter cube. Now it is heavier than water. We can understand that specific gravity is greater than 1.1 means it is heavier than water. If the specific gravity is less than 1, then it indicates that the fluid is lighter than water. Now what he says that the specific gravity is 1.3 is flowing through a circular pipe of diameter 100 mm. Now here diameter is given 100 mm. So immediately I will convert that into meter, 10 raised to minus 3. So 3 digits I will come to the left side. So it is 0.1 meter. Onwards we will be requiring capital R, because in formulation the formulation is in terms of radius. So I will convert this as 50 mm. So it is 0.05 meter. The maximum shear stress at the pipe wall is given. Now this T wall is given, or T max is given, that is 196.2 Newton per meter square. Unit conversion is not required because Newton per meter square is the unit of pressure or stress. Now they are asking us to find out the pressure gradient. The first part asking us to find out the dP by dx. We have discussed this in theory part. If you are not seen that, go to the channel, you will get the previous lectures, cover them and then come to the numericals. Now second, they have asked us to find out average velocity. What is average velocity? Third one, Reynolds number. They are asking us to find out Reynolds number. So this is to be found. So find this. Now we'll go for solution. I hope you have understood the problem. I'll explain the situation here. What is the problem? It indicates me that it is a pipe flow problem. So I'll draw a pipe. Now Here the flow is through pipe, and viscosity is given, everything is given. So they are asking us to find out what is the velocity profile and means average velocities are. So we'll go for first one is the dp by dx. So if you observe the given data, what is the given? Tau is given, wall shear stress is given. So in the wall shear stress formula, if you recall the formulation, you will find the dp by dx. So I can write down the shear stress distribution as minus dp by dx. Basic formula is r by 2, and this is basic distribution formula. So if I apply this for wall at r equal to capital R, at r equal to capital R, you will get wall shear stress. That is what? Minus dp by dx capital R by 2. And that is what we needed. We wanted to find out dp by dx. So we have this quantity, so we can get the dp by dx. So if I put these values, my shear stress is 196.2 minus dp by dx is to be obtained into r by 2. R by 2 is what? Capital R is given, that is 0.05 divided by 2. So unknown is what? dp by dx. So you can compute this. dp by dx is equal to some value. Very important, this will be negative. Of course negative pressure gradient is applied, that is why only the flow will take place from left to right. If dp by dx is negative, the flow will take place from left to right. If it is positive, the flow has to take place from other side. I have explained this in theory part, you can recall that. So some negative value will be there. Unit of this is very important. This is Pascal. Unit of pressure is Pascal, and this is per unit length, so it is per meter length of pipe. Because this is gradient. So for 1 meter, how much is the difference of delta P? If this length is 1 meter, how much is the dP? That is now we have obtained. That is pressure gradient. First part is covered. Is it clear? If you have any kind of questions, you can ask me in the comment section, I will answer it. Second part, they are asking us to find out u bar, that is average velocity. So second is, so average velocity u bar can be obtained as, we know the expression for average velocity, that it is 1 upon 8 mu dp by dx into capital R square. So just put the values and you will get the answer. 1 upon 8 mu is known, dp by dx is known, R square is known, all the SI units are there. So minus dp by dx value is negative, so that negative, this negative will get cancelled, and you will get certain value of u bar, that will be average velocity obtained in SI units, that is meter per second. So compute this. This is answer number 2. And third thing, they have asked us to find out the Reynolds number. So Reynolds number is very straightaway problem. There is nothing difficult. That is, we know that what is Reynolds number? It is rho velocity into characteristic length is d here upon dynamic viscosity. So we know that density is 1300, u bar we have obtained, d is 0.1, mu is 0.7. So if you put these values, you will get the Reynolds number. It must be less than 2300, because the problem is for laminar flow, that it is expected that it should be less than 2300. Otherwise the formulation will not be valid, because we have derived the all expressions in this unit for laminar flow only. So that is how the numerical one is there. I hope this is okay for you. Now we'll go for question number 2, where we'll see some different variation. So let us read the given data. I expect that you should stop the screen and read the problem first and then proceed with me. A 0.2 meter diameter pipe carries 0.2 meter diameter. Diameter itself is given in meter, so no need to convert this. Diameter is 0.2. Liquid in a laminar region It is said that the flow is laminar, so validation of that formulation is there. Laminar flow. A pitot tube placed in the flow at the radial distance of 15 mm from the axis of the pipe. Now there is a pipe, very important, you should understand this. What is the pitot tube? It is used to measure the velocity of the fluid at any location across the cross section. You should go for the unit number 1 to understand this, or in the initial part of the fluid mechanics course you will get the what is meant by pitot tube. So what is the pitot tube? It is a 90-degree tube which is focused towards the flow. If I place anywhere in this between the section, it will give the local velocity. So they are saying that the pitot tube is located at the radial distance of 15 mm from the axis. Means from the axis 15 mm is the distance. So this is the distance where the pitot tube probe is placed. So like this pitot tube will be placed. To understand this you must know what is pitot tube first. So this is a pitot tube used to measure the velocity. So this is placed at what location? This distance is how much? 15 mm from the axis. So it is indirectly radius is given. So this is what particular r is given, that is 0.015 meter. At this location the velocity is measured by the pitot tube, and that is equal to it is given from the axis of the pipe, indicates velocity of 0.5 meter per second. So pitot tube is it is giving you the velocity at r equal to 0.015 as 0.5 meter per second. That is only the role of pitot tube. Do not bother about pitot tube here, nothing to do with this. It is just given that at r equal to 0.015 meter, that is 15 mm from the axis, the velocity is how much? 0.5 meter per second. The measurement device is pitot tube, nothing to do with that. Don't bother about it. Now they are asked, this is the given information, and they are asking us to find out what is maximum velocity. Maximum velocity, and second one is the mean velocity, u bar is asked, and third one is asked what is discharge. Find this. So if you observe the problem, you must observe the given data, and with respect to that formulation has to be selected. So solution, if I start, so I can understand that at any location the velocity is given, so means r and u are given. So correlating this, there is a formulation of velocity distribution. What is that formulation? It is minus 1 upon 4 mu dp by dx, because for pipe flow this is the formulation, minus 1 upon 4 mu dp by dx capital R square minus small r square. So at this given r, what is the value? That these two quantities are given. So we can understand that with these two quantities and the another information of relation between maximum velocity and average velocity, we can find out the things. So if I write down this, I can write down the formula for maximum velocity also. What is the maximum velocity? It will be at r equal to 0, so it will become dp by dx into r square. So if I take the way to solve this problem is to take the ratios, because here dp by dx is unknown. dp by dx is not given, we cannot find it, or we can find it but the process will be lengthy. So what you will do, you will put the value of u, r, mu, but mu is also not given, so we cannot use this way. We have to take the ratio, otherwise we cannot solve this because mu is unknown, so it will not be solved. So for that purpose we have to eliminate these quantities, and coincidentally you can observe that this quantity and this quantity is same, so it can be cancelled if I take the ratio. So if I take the ratio of u, as I want to find out u max, so I will take u max at the upper side in the denominator, and u equal to u max by u I am taking. So this quantity and this quantity will be completely cancelled, minus minus will be cancelled, so it will be r square upon r square minus r square. So it is the simplest way to solve this problem, r square minus r square. Though mu would be given, if mu is given in the numerical, still we'll use this method because this is simplest method. Unnecessary computation is avoided. So now in this calculations, if you see r is known, small r is known and u is known, so you can find out u max. So u max will be this u will go to this side, so that is given by as 0.5 meter per second into bracket capital R is how much, diameter is given, so I would have immediately converted this into radius 0.1 meter. Convert this immediately, then this is 0.1 meter square divided by capital R is how much, 0.1 meter square, small r is how much, that is at that given location. What is the location? This 0.5 is at 0.015 meter square. So if I compute this, put proper brackets while using the calculator, you will get the maximum value of velocity. That answer will be in meter per second. Compute this, answer number 1. I suggest you to keep the pen and calculator with you and do it with me. Try to do that with me. Do not just watch this lecture. This is the practical case where you have to solve the problem. Now second part, they have asked us to find out the average velocity. So finding out the average velocity is a very easy task, because we know the ratio between average velocity and maximum velocity. So that ratio is nothing but u max upon u bar. U max upon u bar is how much? 2. U max upon u bar is 2. So you can find out u bar as u max by 2. So from this you will get u bar meter per second. Answer number 2. Once you got u bar, you can simply compute the discharge, because discharge across the section is area of cross section into average velocity. So any discharge value is what? Area of cross section into that average velocity is nothing but the discharge in the given pipe. So discharge can be obtained as area of cross section into u bar. Here area of cross section you can take pi r square or pi by 4d square as you wish. Pi r square into u bar, you have value, so you put these values and you can get the discharge. That will be in meter cube per second. SI unit of the discharge is meter cube per second. You can divide that divide with the 1000, you will get liter per second. So I hope you understood the problem. Very simple it is. You just have to observe the given case. What is the given? At particular location velocity is given, so use this. At particular location velocity is given, so use that here and obtain the remaining u max. So this is the best way to take the ratios of the velocities, because similar quantities can be cancelled. This is the way we solve the problems for the pipe flow. I hope you understood this. Now we will go for question number 3. I will cover 3 questions in this today's session. In the next session I will cover remaining numericals. So let us go for third one. I expect that you should pause the screen, read the problem carefully, try to write down the given data at your own in your notebook, and then continue with me. So let me read the problem now. Given the viscosity, an oil is there with some viscosity, which is that mu is equal to 0.1 Newton second per meter square, which is already in SI units, so don't worry about it. Then relative density is given, that is nothing but specific gravity. Relative density is nothing but specific gravity. S is equal to 0.9. It indicates that it is less than 1, so oil is lighter than water, so that is nothing but the density of oil upon density of water. Standard substance is water, so what is the density of oil then? 0.9 multiplied by 1000, so it is nothing but density of oil upon 1000. So I can compute density of oil as 0.9 into 1000, that becomes 900 kg per meter cube. Every time you need not to do this. Once you got this, just multiply it with 1000, you will get the value. The relative density 0.9 is flowing through a circular pipe of diameter 50 mm. So diameter of the pipe is 50 mm, so that is nothing but 0.05 meter. Carefully conversion is there, that is 25 mm, so it is 0.025 meter. 3 digits you have to come to the left side, and the length of the pipe is 300 meter, sorry, length of the pipe is 300 meter. The rate of the flow is, discharge is given here, discharge is given 3.5 liter per second. So I will convert this into 10 raised to meter cube as 0.035 meter cube per second. Okay, so divide it with 10 raised to 3, you will get the meter cube per second. So now it is asking us to find the pressure drop in 300 meter length of pipe. So first one is to obtain the pressure drop, that is P1 minus P2 in our terms, delta P is what, and second one is also shear stress at the pipe wall. So maximum shear stress is asked or wall shear stress is asked. Okay, so if you see here, very first impression we get that we know the discharge, yes, and we know the diameter, so we know the area. So if we know the area and discharge, you can get the average velocity simply as discharge equal to cross section area into average velocity. So if I know this, you can find out the average velocity. So first part I can find out discharge equal to cross section area into average velocity, that is discharge is nothing but 0.035 is equal to pi r square into u bar. So you can find out u bar, you will get the value of u bar, compute this, that will be in meter per second, put all the values in meter, that will be equal to pi r square is what, 0.025 square into u bar. So if we simplify this, you will get the u bar. Once you got the u bar, you can simply compute the pressure drop straight away, problem nothing difficult. P1 minus P2 formulation for that pipe flow is 32 times mu into u bar L upon d square is the pressure drop. This is asked, it is not mentioned that whether to find this as Pascal or meter of what, that oil column. They have asked us to find out the pressure drop only, so we'll straight away find out in pascals. So 32 times mu is how much, 0.1 Newton second per meter square, into u bar, you will compute this value, into L is given 300 meter. So put this u bar here, and then divide by d square is how much, 0.05 bracket square. So if you put these all values, you will get the value of pressure drop, or I can write down here P1 minus P2 equal to something, whatever you will calculate that. Very important unit is, its unit is Pascal. Okay, pressure drop will be obtained in Pascal. Now third part we need to find out is, what is asked, not third, it is second part, which is wall shear stress. Now if you observe wall shear stress, I can write down the formula for shear stress. What is shear stress? It is minus dp by dx r by 2, or sorry, small r by 2. So if you want to find out wall shear stress, that is maximum shear stress will be minus dp by dx into capital R by 2. So if I want to find out this, I have capital R but I don't have dp by dx. So to compute this dp by dx, we'll take the help of known quantity. What is the known quantity here? U bar is known. U bar is known to us, so I can write down the formula for average velocity of that pipe flow. So for the pipe flow, the average velocity, if you recall the formula, it is minus 1 upon u 8 mu dp by dx into r square. So if you put these values, u bar is known, mu is known, r square is known, so you can find out dp by dx. So dp by dx will be some value in negative value will be there, that is negative pressure gradient is available here, that will be Pascal per meter. Okay, so once you got this dp by dx, put this dp by dx here, minus minus will get cancelled, r value is known, and find out the wall shear stress. So wall shear stress is nothing but minus dp by dx r by 2. So if you put the value of dp by dx and r by 2, you will get wall shear stress. So compute this, get the answer, that will be in Newton per meter square. So this is how we can solve the third numerical. I hope you understood this. Today in this session I am going to stop here. First three numericals I have covered. 3 more numericals I will take on this topic in the next lecture. You can check it out. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any kind of questions, you can comment me. Subscribe my channel for any updates later on, as I am going to cover complete syllabus after onwards, this up to the unit number 6 as per UG syllabus. So you can just subscribe the channel so to get the notification. Thank you very much.